Yeah, I can't think of an intro for this video, to be honest. I mean, it's the first video on my channel, but I don't really know how to start it. So, today I think I'm going to run through why I'm doing this and what this channel is going to be focused on. So obviously, if you came from the short I posted a couple of days ago, you'll see that I got a new camera, a Panasonic Lumix S5D. Now, as a previous to that, I had this, a Nikon D80. Now I bought this on eBay. Well, more accurately, I bought this on eBay for, I think it was £5, that camera body. And then obviously the 50mm 1.8D lens was, I think it was £45. So 50 quid for a camera setup. Seems like a bargain. However, the camera is a bit temperamental. So sometimes you'll launch it and it'll quite happily take a photo, but others, you will take that photo and then you'll see the error. This doesn't disappear. You basically just have to cycle until you get back to where autofocus turns on and then you can take a picture. Now, from the sounds of it, this is quite a common issue with the D80. And, well, it was kind of hampering photography a bit. I mean, you'd miss moments and it was a bit annoying. So, I got this. Now, I was on Hot UK Deals, basically, when I found this camera. And for a full frame, 24 megapixel, pretty modern mirrorless camera with a 50mm 1.8 prime and an 18 to 40mm kit lens, it seemed like a pretty good deal to me. So I snagged it up. It was £760, I believe, new. And it arrived a couple of days ago. And since then, I've taken it out around Durham, done some photos, done some photography. I mean, I'm not really sure you can call it photography. It was more just taking pictures of things that I thought looked all right. And I thought, well, we could start here on this photography journey on this YouTube channel and see where it goes. So yeah, let's get into some of the photos. So let's take a look at some of these photos then. So the first was literally just me taking a photo of the first flower I saw. I mean, it's nice and sharp. There's not really much to write home around about here. The 50mm lens has a pretty nice bokeh going for it in the background. And yeah, I mean, it's nothing special, but you know what? Might make a nice wallpaper, I guess, if you look at it like that. So the second photo here, I have done an edit on before this video. I mean, I don't particularly like the edit. I was trying to go for a retro-y vibe of the Durham River here. It doesn't really work. It's a bit too much. But you know what? That's the best part about editing. You can go back to it and change it if you want to. So yeah, I mean, again, nothing to write home around about on this photo, but yeah. So third up here, this was telling a bit more of a story. We had some dying leaves and then some new green leaves behind, and you know what? Signs of spring, hey? Honestly, it's not that interesting of a photo from an actual photographic standpoint, but just telling the story of, like, you know, I guess the changing of the seasons. It's quite nice. I had done a little edit here, making the greens a bit richer behind and also dulling them a bit. Next photo up. Now, this actually deleted the edit I had done on the picture, but I try and do a swift little edit here just to get something of a resemblance to what I like it to look like. I did quite like this picture, actually. There's an Instagram account too for this channel, and I posted this image onto that. It's edited, yeah, on there anyway. It looks a bit better. I just want to try and bring out some warm vibes, really get those orangey amber tones going in the funky leaves that you can see on the tree. Again, nothing too special, but A, I was quite limited to what I could shoot. B, I was quite limited to time. And C, to be honest, I'm not very good at this. I mean, yeah. It's a photo of a tree. This one I did quite like. Now, the edit I'm going to do on screen here is a bit more complicated in a second. I think I want to try and brighten up that central building while trying to make the rest of the image a bit darker. So, you know, radial filter used to do that. Just on the side, I'm using Photomator as the editor. I think it's Apple's own photo editing software. It's £30 a year.
Obviously versus Lightroom's £12 a month now, it's quite a lot cheaper. You do lose some functionality, but for me, this is perfectly fine. And yeah, as you've seen here, we're just using that radial filter to fill in, brighten up the central bit of the image, and I actually quite like this photo, to be honest. You get a nice framing from the trees on the building, and yeah, overall, a sound edit. And you can see the difference there that quick little edit has made. So up next, we've got, this is probably one of the least favourite of my photos I've taken. Not sure on the edit either. A bit dull and a bit dark. You'll lose some of the colours. But to be fair, this isn't a very colourful bit of land. Now this version of the photo I prefer, because you get that nice framing that I'm just going over with the mouse there. But again, I don't really like the colour of the grass in the field, and it's nice with the alpacas or whatever they are centralised there. It kind of works in black and white, to be fair, getting rid of the colour, so I might just leave it there, to be honest. But yeah. Now this coming up here is probably my favourite photo I've taken so far with my new camera. Now this was just in Durham City Centre, and overall, really nice shot, I think. Anyway, it works really nicely in black and white. And yeah, just obviously the subject looking at the street, and it's just a nice photo. So yeah, awesome modelling. But yeah, so as you can tell, in colour it's nowhere near as nice as it was in black and white. And just a nice photo. So this was a quick little ISO test of the camera. It was 16,000 ISO here, and as you can see, not too much noise. And there's a bit in the dark bits of the sky, but 16,000 ISO and being able to actually be relatively clear is quite nice. You can see that there is noise there when you expose your shoots up a bit, but you know what? I'm quite impressed. 16,000 ISO is not a mean feat to get pretty much a noise-free image. And then finally, another nice one. This is just Durham Cathedral, overlooking from one of the viewing points in Wharton Gardens, I believe it's called. And yeah, I quite like the retro-y amber style on this photo overall. It was probably my second favourite picture I've taken. So yeah, now obviously I'm not trying to say that any of these were any good photographically, but you know what? I don't mind. I'm new to this, roughly, and honestly, it's quite a nice excuse to go out for a walk. So yeah. So, I figured this would be quite a nice time to wrap up the video. We've gone through some photos. Now, just as an aside, all of those that you've seen were taken with the 50mm 1.8 lens. I haven't actually gone out with the 18-40 yet, so that could be the next video, I think. And yeah, I hope it's been somewhat insightful to run through what are my first photos on this camera. And to be fair, my first photos in a while that I would call photographic, rather than just being taken with a phone. And yeah. Now, I hope you've enjoyed watching, and if you have, I hope you'll consider subscribing, maybe to follow along with how this goes and how we do. If not, that's fine. Drop a comment down below and tell me why the video sucks. Hopefully it doesn't suck too badly. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.